Hello, darling. How are you doing? I am just getting this shared that I'm live, hence why I did not say much at the right away. Um, I get that. I'm sorry to hear that you are tired. I do understand that though. What have you been up to recently? Well, you've been working, but you're on leave now and you're relaxing, so that it's good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, got those shared. And where is my? Oh, there it is. All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Oh, wait. Actually, I have several other areas I need to share. Well, I'm glad my voice is relaxing. And I get the whole thing of being stressed at work. Um, because that was this past week for me. I had quite the eventful um, week. Oh, honestly, the past week, like leading up to my birthday, and then finding out the full extent of stuff this week. But yeah, so I don't even know if I shared everything here, but it's okay. I don't need to. All right, we do need to add some more fish in these areas, though. Yeah, I would say as a whole, I had a good birthday. Um, it was very laid back. I'm not someone who's good at organizing stuff. I'm I'm not good at celebrating myself. I'm gonna be honest. Um, and so I just kind of do whatever. Um, and yeah, so I like again. Last week I streamed on my birthday. That's why we did the little art stream on Saturday. Um, oh yeah, hey, how's it going, dude? Um, and then yeah, I went out and did some figure drawing with one of my friends. It has been quite a while. How have you been? Work and life really got in the way of some serious chances for fun. Um, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. So, what were some of the uh, serious chances for fun that you missed out on recently? I see. Yeah, I can see how you'd be a little bummed by that. Um, Travel chances, vacationing, and outdoor opportunities are always fun, and so I understand being bummed about missing out on that sort of stuff. Bruh. I'm trying to get like images for fish in the coral area. It feels like every other image on Pinterest right now is an ad. What the hell happened to Pinterest? But there's ads. I have never seen this many ads on Pinterest before. Are you saying that that has to do with AI? Oh, this is pissing me off. This is legit pissing me off. More than 50% of what I'm seeing are ads. One second, I'm gonna see if I can fix this. That's so much better. Just had to open it in the browser setting, my browser that basically blocks all ads. This is great. This is back to how I wanted it. All right. Okay, we're gonna add right here. I think we're gonna add a lionfish. All right, so we continue here with our story. So, besides of missing out on fun opportunities recently, how have you been? Because again, we haven't chatted in a hot minute. Work is slow, but life is pretty good. I'm glad to hear that. Fully understand life being slow as well. Life has been very busy for me the past week, but it's been good. So I do understand some of that. I'm gonna add a sea sponge over here because I have free will, so you know. Right next to the starfish. Oh my god, a crab down here and an octopus over here. Because again, I get to do whatever I want with these. I think I'm gonna add that acorn over here that I had like done. Instead of it being right here, I'm gonna add it off to this side right here. Yeah, you like the layout a lot. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, do you play Magic the Gathering out of curiosity? Okay, fair enough. Oh, I'm gonna be real honest. I like 95% of the time I just play on Tabletop Simulator because I can make any deck I want. Um, and I don't have to pay anything for it. I will say, I if you have Tabletop Simulator and ever want to learn or play, that's how I do it, because I'm also the same way. I can't just be spending money like that on just actual cards. But I still enjoy the game. And the reason something like this is happening is because, honestly, I finished up the Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, I highly, if you enjoy board games and all that, highly recommend it. I mean, you, me, Ethan could play board games together then as well. But yeah, basically, after I had finished the other two lands, I posted them on Reddit, and they got massive traction. Where people are just like, "Oh, I love these," and tons of people going, I would spend money on this. I would buy these. So I figure, you know what? Let me finish up let me do all the lands. Hey, Wolf, how you doing? Welcome in. And so part of the idea is that once I do all of these lands, that I could then do a Kickstarter specifically for some lands and get people to buy them and fund them. And my idea is, as well, I want to send some to I forget what it is, Card Pro or whatever. There's a sleeve company that does card sleeves for Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. And one of my friends, who is an ex-NFL player, works for them. And I want to send him some, and then send some that he could give to his boss and all that. Yeah, you'd buy a set of the cards. I mean, if you don't play, I feel like it gets into the expensive area. Hey, okay, sounds good, dude. Cool. It is, in fact, recording time lapse. Nice. How's Genshin going, Mama? Very cool. Very cool. I have not touched Genshin in a very long time. Basically got through the first part of the story and then got to Liwei, I think is what it is, a Chinese area. There's just so much where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing all this. So I just stopped. Oh, when I played it, it was like a year and a half ago when they were like had what you can call it, like you could get over to like the sand area and all that. I think one of the things that I actually have a problem with is like it doesn't matter what level you get to. The mobs are always like the same difficulty. You don't get to yeah. No, I mean, island cards are like the way they're viewed is like water. So most stuff is like it shows like some form of water, things like that. And so with my sort of stuff, I'm like, okay, how can we incorporate? And part of it was how do we incorporate squirrels into this while still having it be very water centric and like feeling like a island sort of vibe. I think the other reason I'm doing so much here and like why I love looking stuff up is one of the things I've always kind of said is if I wasn't doing art and teaching art and all that, one of the like professions I probably would have wanted to pursue would have been marine biology. Archaeology and marine biology are like the two things that I would have been very interested in. I absolutely love snorkeling and just spending time like swimming, finding stuff, observing nature. And then archaeology, because history fascinates me. And I did have that there because then you can see kind of where things will line up when you actually have something like this printed. Whoop. Now, I do kind of want to see what this would look like, so we're going to go here. Actually, no, I'm gonna actually, I'm just gonna go through here with this and do this to start with. I kind of like that, but I'm not 100% sure. I think with some of this, what I need to do is just add here a area where we're gonna go in and add some white, because with the fact that that area has been changed and I switched up what I'm doing, I want to be able to see that in representation. Whoops. Just gonna do that real quick. Okay. Got rid of all the stuff that I needed to. Now go to the proper layer and do it. Mark, how's it going? We are currently working on a basic land for Magic the Gathering that I've been working my way through, designing basic lands that have squirrels as part of them, where they're not just hidden. Because I say this and people are like, oh, there were squirrel lands, but they were shapes of squirrels hidden in the art. I want actual squirrels in the art. How are you doing, dude? I miss you. I appreciate it. Um, two others that I have done already. I did a forest and swamp, as those were the ones that I wanted / needed to get done first. As those were the reasons I started doing it, was because the I have what you call it. I have a squirrel deck for Magic the Gathering. But here. So here is the other squirrel land. This is the forest. This is the full art for that. And then I had done, where is it? Here we go. So then I had done a swamp. So here's the swamp. And there's what it looks like with like the text and all that. Dude, Chatterfang meets Edge of Eternities. Nice. Yeah. So that's, I mean, I have a Chatterfang deck as well. So yeah, that's why I had done these, because I was like, I want actual squirrels in my lands. And so I had done the swamp and the forest. I just posted the forest to Reddit like 2 weeks ago, and the responses were really good. People were like, "Oh, I love these. I would pay money for this." And I was like, you know what? That's something I can do. And so I was like, you know what I should do is just go ahead and draw out the rest of the lands, and then run a Kickstarter where people like, and my thought is right now like about $20, and people can get the what you call it, like get a set of 50 cards, so 10 of each land for $20, and they'll be like the full art and all that. That is my thought right now. And then for like stretch goals, adding in some other things, just that then they're not paying for it, because that's where I can get into trouble with doing some of these other cards. But example is I did this Soul Ring, and I absolutely love how this one works. And so doing things like this as like part of the stretch goal of like, if we hit this amount, everyone gets a Soul Ring. If we hit this amount, everyone gets like a command tower. Some of those sort of things that are like fairly used in most commander decks. Yeah. Your workshop needs a calendar of them. The difficult thing with that is either I would need to like, so with a calendar, either I would need to like overlay the like the illustration I already did, so that, but then part of it would be like white, like you'd have, let's do this real quick so you get an idea with some of these. So like example with the swamp here, if it was a calendar, because of like the size, what would end up needing to happen is basically it would just be something like this, where you'd have the white block. you'd have a white block in there like that. That is lighter, so you would still see through it, but it would be something like that then, that would have like the calendar on it. I don't know. That right there, because it's not what it was designed for, it doesn't look as good to me. Yeah. Or I guess what you could do is just, if we did this here. Now I'm just thinking through this. The problem is I would also need 12 images. Though, not necessarily. If I did something like this and did change canvas size, and then we went here and did like reference point there, like 1,100 to 50. We did something like this, maybe, actually. Could do something like this where it's white off to the side, and then have like 3 months. So it wouldn't, you'd have like 3 months at once, something like that, maybe. So that could be an option. It'd just be a fairly cheap thing. I could even just release it for people and be like, hey, if you want to print this out, you could. Anyways, back to the actual art. Thank you. I'm glad you think it sounds awesome. Yeah, no, at least like, with after these are done, I do want to do like a Kickstarter and sell them. So it'd be like 20 bucks for the 50 cards, and then probably $10 for shipping, something like that. I would need to figure out what the cost of shipping from Japan would be for something like that, but yeah. Out of curiosity, Markham, if you're still here, do you have Tabletop Simulator? Tabletop Simulator on PC. Well, if you ever get it, let me know. It is how I play Magic the Gathering with friends online, because you can basically build literally any deck you want, because it's just like Tabletop Simulator just lets you import like card games and things like that. And so like if you build the deck on, say, a website such as Moxfield, you can just build said deck and mess around with it. And that is how I have figured out what I like for my Shatterfang deck as well. I mean, I will say the program itself is $20, but it also allows you to create a virtual tabletop like area where you can even import like 3D minis and all that if you were wanting to like run a D&D game in like a 3D space. Let's keep going. Actually, this is what we're gonna do. All right, there we go. All right, we got the blue lines kind of cleared up a bit. Now I can actually see more of what it is that I am looking at. Because unfortunately, there's lots of blue. It's not always easiest to see. Do that, get an idea for where it's at with the land type stuff on it. Hey, Paul. Secret Lair, I don't know about that. Kickstarter, maybe in like a month or two. Basically, I've been working on a bunch of. I have 2 lands that I've. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so you saw the Soul Ring as well. Yeah, so my thought is, because I've been posting as I've been working on stuff onto Reddit, on the Magic the Gathering subreddit, and I've had a lot of interest in what I've been doing, and a lot of people stating that they would be very interested in getting these lands. And so I was like, you know what, I should just finish up the whole set, and then that way I can just put it out there, like let people know, like, hey, this is happening. If you are actually interested in wanting to pick up some lands, this is a good way to do it. And then the stretch goals would be things like the Soul Ring and the Command Tower and things like that, mainly because I could more easily get into trouble for things like the Soul Ring than the basic lands. But if they're just stretch goals that people aren't actually paying for and they just get it as a bonus, then it's a little bit more of a whatever. Because this all started because of the fact that I have a squirrel deck, and I wanted to be able to have nice lands for my squirrel deck. Because I'm aware that there's like the secret layer with like hidden squirrels, but like to me, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of those. Instead, I was like, you know what, I want there to be actual squirrels. And so yeah, so I started working on one actually last year in September. It was the forest one, And so it was just like I would work on it here and there in my off time. And then I did the swamp as part of stream like 2 months ago or so. And yeah, so now here we are working on the other ones. So after this, I'll just have 2 more to do. Yes, alt art lands are quite common, and as long as I just need to figure out some slightly different ways to do the like island and basic land and like basic land island and all that, and like come up with my own generalized style for some of this, because the way I have it right now for myself is fine, but this is actually more like the font and everything. Like I found the font that they actually use and redesigned the card like stuff. So it's like all this is stuff that I redid, but like yeah. But then like the border and all that, I'm gonna keep the black border that like this. And then but then like the frames and all that, I just need to figure out how I'm gonna what I'm gonna do, and then like the mana symbols. Which, to be honest, because they're color coordinated, I might just say basic land and have like an acorn or something like that with that color. I don't know. I'll look into it, just because the only time I would actually be doing like a release of this would be via the Kickstarter. I will say I love Kickstarters. Such an easy way to like do a limited release of stuff. How are you doing, by the way, Paul? We have not talked in a hot minute. It has been a while. I feel that. You still keeping up with Steak and Brandon? Yeah, that's fair. He's usually on fairly late. That he is. Which is probably for the better for him at this stage in life. Just with. Yeah. Being able to take that step back. He needed it. Yeah, you could say online is rough right now. That is definitely not an inaccurate statement. second and check something, guys. Do any of you have any questions about what I'm doing or how I'm working through anything or anything like that? If you do, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to share and explain. So, working through a card like this, so first of all, the thing that I have to take into consideration is where the borders and different card boxes and elements are, as I need to make sure that whatever I do is kind of within those boundaries. So then once I have that, often what I will do is use the I use those border type areas, and what I will usually do is I'll go in here and create kind of here. Let me actually just I'll usually go in here and create this sort of shape. Like this. Yeah, okay. How do things kind of fit in? Because something like this will lead the eye. Or if I'm really trying to make sure it's all visible within those boundaries, what I'll do is kind of go like this. And you can see when I do something like this, kind of how a lot of this stuff kind of lines up with this right here, this arc. You can see that this cliff face right here this kind of follows within that line, and then those you have just different stuff that kind of fit within this loop. And again, it's to help draw the eye around. But then also one of the things that I'll do is I will take this area and pretty much break it into thirds like this. And I try to keep things in like outside of this box here, but instead having things kind of in this area, like in these parts right in these general areas, some roughly speaking. And so if you have that mixed with that arc, you can see right there kind of how that goes around. And so that's how I kind of think through layout. It's called rule of thirds, and what you call it, and the golden ratio. And so yeah, that is a rough way, like for some of the layout in terms of thinking through like content of the cards themselves. I mean, I look at the subject matter, so this here is for, with Magic the Gathering, it's for an island card, like a basic land island. And so because of that, it needs to have like those islands and water elements to it. And so I would go through and go, okay, how are we going to incorporate islands and squirrels and things like that, like water and squirrels? Since squirrels are normally in the forest, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit at a loss at first. So what I did to start with was I actually went to ChatGPT and it was just like ideating. I said, this is the sort of thing I want to do. These are some of the elements that I want to incorporate into a piece like this. And it's like, what are some things that I can do? Like, what are some ideas? And it had a lot of different stuff, but I wasn't super fond of a lot of them. But it gave me some different ideas to start with. It offhandedly mentioned something with a reef, and I was like, oh, you know what? I could do something with like squirrels on like a little cove next to a reef. That way you get like the island vibe with them kind of by the water, but then also like how do you incorporate that in there? And the first squirrel that I drew was actually this one here, reaching for an acorn in the water. And then after that, it was kind of like, okay, what do I do next? And then I had like this squirrel right here. This was that second one, and then I sketched out a squirrel in a open coconut, kind of like kind of sleeping on the water, tail and feet kind of dipping in it with holding an acorn. And those were the rough things. Like when I first sketched this out, I had some of the reef life and like the reefs in here. I didn't have any of the fish or anything like that. As I've been doing the second rough, I've been adding most of that stuff to it as I go. So that way I can just figure out what I want to add and how it's going to look. But that's a bit of the process for me, is doing multiple rough sketches. And yeah, it's just one of those things um, that I can just think through. Like that, it's just thinking through, um, and it takes a bit of time to determine, like, okay, what do you actually want? What do you want to see? Um, and as I go through, as I do this, it just you slowly add um just different elements. Yeah, the so well, yeah, currently in this second roughing right here. So if I undo this, I can so right here we will disable the mask. So you can see right here, this was the first rough that I had. I had done this on my sketchbook, and then taken a photo of it and brought it in here, did a few minor touch-ups, not much, and then I had added these red circles for where I wanted fish. I had more, but got rid of them slowly. You can see initially I had the acorn over here in the front and this guy sleeping, and kind of where some of this stuff was. And then I've moved things, so I moved that acorn off to the side because I felt like it was a little too distracting. And I moved that other squirrel towards the back. And so it's just been that slow process of figuring out where everything goes and just slowly doing it. Yeah. So that is a rough idea of the process currently with where we're at. Um, yeah. Yes, coconuts. Coconuts and acorns. slowly getting there. Alright, I will probably be done here in like 20 minutes, just so you guys are aware. I'm going to see if we can finish up the rough drawing in that period of time. Because then we could start on the line work next week. I don't know what I'm doing there. 1 second. I am going to save that first. Because I realize I haven't saved it in a moment. So here I am adding like kind of like sea anemone. So what I'm also thinking is for here, just so you guys get an idea, add and I'm thinking like something like this. Like this, and then for like that area down there, so that there is a tapering off. Something like that. Maybe more so like that. Probably like that. And then of course like have just as a quick rough idea of what it would probably look like. Then this one here would go kind of down like that. You know, something along the lines of like that. Like that. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a really rough idea of kind of what I'm thinking of right now. This one here would just get like whoop. Something along the lines of like that. Though I do think that probably this whole area right here will get something like this with a very small amount of that blue tinge to it. Yeah, that is the really rough idea of what it will be. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be nice. I think with this, like, I think this helps with like a little bit of that proof of concept sort of thing. Um, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna actually call it here for now. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just go ahead and merge these layers just so that it's easy to show that proof of concept at later times. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me. And just know that we will be back next week with more. Tomorrow, if all goes well, which it should, I should be playing some Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. So, yeah. I will see you all on the next stream, hopefully. Not next week. Alright, peace.